I struggle with chronic fatigue, so I don't really want to leave the house a lot, and I'm also an introvert, so most of my language learning gets done at home. Let me show you how I do it. I have everything that I want here. My plants, my books, food, myself. Why would I willingly leave my sanctuary? Lucky for me, and you if you feel the same way, there are so many ways that you can learn a language without even needing to leave your couch. All you need is access to the internet, some motivation, and yourself, and you are ready to go. So let's dive into how you can learn a language without leaving your room. What you want to do is transform your entire space to be an immersive space for language learning. Everything that you see and do, try and do it in the language that you're learning. What I enjoy doing is creating a whole new YouTube profile just for the language I'm learning. That way, when I'm watching videos, let's say only in Hungarian, the recommended videos will constantly be in Hungarian. That way, when I open that account, I'm immersed by Hungarian and I'm getting a lot of listening practice in. I love to just leave some videos playing on my TV so that I'm constantly being surrounded by the language. And this is a way of passive learning. You need to also incorporate active learning where you're actually sitting and studying the language, maybe taking a course online or working with a tutor from home. Ya kaprot reo, shan gin pet mai dai. But be sure to incorporate as much passive listening as you can into your environment. One of my absolute favorite ways to get listening practice in is by listening to podcasts. There are two types of podcasts you can consider. One is specifically for learning the language. These will be podcasts with titles like Japanese with so-and-so or Learn Spanish in 5 minutes or something like that. The other option, if you are intermediate or advanced, is to listen to podcasts about any topic that you're interested in, but that are recorded in the language you're learning. For instance, I listen to Design Table, which is a Korean podcast about design. So find a topic you're interested in, but look for the podcast in the language that you're learning. Now, just because you're alone in your room doesn't mean that you can't connect with people. So check out forums. There are amazing Facebook groups, some like old school forums online. Just search a language learning group or learning French together or something. You'll find a ton of forums online to join, ask people questions, etc. And then another favorite place of mine is X, formerly Twitter. There's a hashtag called LangTweet, which is like language Twitter. Tons of people on there who are also self-studying or professionally learning languages. You can just connect with them, search for hashtags related to topics that you're interested in, and just join the conversations there. Start creating your own content in the language, see who interacts with it. It might take a while to get a lot of interaction if you're like a completely new account, but just step out there. Like, no one needs to know what you look like or anything, but start engaging with language learning communities online. Another thing that you can try, as long as you have internet, is to get an online tutor. I've used a platform called LiveXP before when I was learning Japanese, and I'd love to recommend it to you. So this part of the video is sponsored by LiveXP, but I think they're amazing. LiveXP has native speaker tutors, so you can really focus on learning pronunciation and being fluid and maybe focusing on a specific region or accent of the language that you're learning. What I love about LiveXP is that it connects you with tutors who share your interests, so you can search for topics that you're interested in and then talk to someone who shares that. An awesome new feature that they have on the app is a word trainer. You can add new words and it automatically translates it from the language you added to English and then creates flashcards for you. So you can practice your flashcards and your vocab from the lesson right in the app. There's a super cheap trial lesson that you can take. It's only 99 cents if you use my promo code Lindie. That is for the trial, but if you want to consider a subscription, use my code Lindie30 for 30% off of any subscription. It's the perfect way to learn a language on your own terms, at your own pace, and with features that make learning a language enjoyable, effective, and convenient. Remember to use my promo code Lindie30 for 30% off any subscription. If you are not keen to talk to people, let me tell you, when the whole AI craze hit the world, at first I was like, cool, but not for me. Boy, was I wrong. ChatGPT and like generative AI, Gemini from Google, just love. I don't think I can live without Gen AI anymore. So I love using ChatGPT or Gemini or any other generative AI LLM to learn a language. So I'm gonna show you how I learn a language using ChatGPT. My process of working with ChatGPT is first to input an article and then ask it to create a vocabulary list for me with translations. So it'll take out the main words from the article and then give me a list. Then I ask it to give me example sentences only in Hungarian so that I can practice reading them. I then ask for questions that I can answer related to the text. So it's kind of like a teacher giving me a test. After that, I will ask for all of the verbs to be put in tables with every pronoun connected to it, as well as the tenses. I also use Gemini. On Gemini, I'll ask for a word list and information related to the words, which I then export to Google Sheets. So from there, I get all of the example sentences I need, plus the vocab words related to it in one handy sheet. The next thing you want to do is change your daily habits, like bring in new actions that you can do in another language. I've mentioned this before and it can be simple, but I think there are some people who may not have thought of this, or if you're new to language learning, let me tell you some quick tips. So change your devices in that language, especially if you're like upper beginner, intermediate. Just having your phone be in the language that you are learning is gonna keep it active. You're gonna be like, oh, this is a new word, or oh, you know, this is reminding me to think in that language, etc. Change your to-do list, your journal, your shopping list, label things around the house. Talk to yourself in the language. Like, as much as you can surround yourself with the language, do that. Also think about habit stacking, like what are habits that you can connect to each other? For example, if you enter your house, you might take off your shoes. I sure hope you do. Take off your shoes and then you might get a drink of water. Like that is your routine, and those are habits that are connected to each other. Wait, I just talked about like coming into your house and taking off your shoes. Technically, that means leaving your house. So connect it to another habit. You don't have to leave your house to learn a language. How could you bring in language learning to that, into your home environment, right? Maybe you have like a flashcard deck that is lying next to where you put your keys. And I mean, this is like if you're really into it and like really need to study, maybe every time you put your keys down after returning home, you go through like 5 flashcards, 10 flashcards, just get that in and then continue. As an example for habit stacking, not necessarily related to language learning, when I brush my teeth, I do squats. So I try and get my little bit of exercise in every time I brush my teeth, and I connect brushing teeth with exercise. Those are habits that are connected. Learning a language, maybe going through flashcards or repeating a new sentence or reviewing a grammar structure you've learned. What could you attach that to? What kind of habit or process can you add that to so that you remember to do it and it becomes something that you do every day? So to all of my fellow lazy or introverted language learners, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to subscribe if you want to see more language learning / lifestyle content, and I will see you in the next video. Good night.